to The Edit by Engaged Creative. I'm so excited to be sitting here in the beautiful Whitsundays with Kristy from Mills and Franks. Hi.
Hi.
Firstly, I want to say how privileged Amy and I are to be here. This is a very much pinch me moment in your career. Like I actually said to Amy yesterday, like, shit, this is like happening right now. Like, this is why we work so hard. So first of all, thank you for inviting us here.
Yeah.
I mean, before we jump into this podcast talking about you and all of the luxurious kind of things that you do you want to kind of tell us a little bit about Yangaro, where we are? Because I'm sure people are wondering, this beautiful backdrop. Where are they?
So we are in Funnel Bay, a beautiful little private estate in Airlie Beach in the Whitsundays. So we are a new privately owned estate located in the mainland of the area of the Whitsundays, where there are 8 luxury villas on site. We sleep up to 68 guests. Recently opening ourselves up for all things luxury stays, wellness retreats, and now we're about to launch into the world of weddings.
It's so amazing. And the fact that it can sleep 68 people, like I don't know many resorts that can probably house your entire wedding.
Yeah.
You know, like that is such a unique positioning, because if you were going to look at a venue, it's like, oh yeah, but my guest has to stay somewhere else. So it's such a beautiful opportunity that everyone gets their own luxurious outlook. It's incredible.
Yes.
Well, if we rewind, I kind of would love to know a little bit about you, how you started your business. I was saying earlier before we recorded, I did obviously a little bit of a background on you and what really, I was like, oh my God, you have worked in the luxury market and all things, luxury. I saw that you did something for Prince William and Alexander McQueen. I was like, okay, this is going to go well. So do you kind of want to tell me a little bit about your background and how you came to be here, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first off, I studied a Bachelor of Business Management.
Yeah.
I always just knew one day I wanted to own my own business.
Yeah.
Coming fresh out of high school, didn't really know what that was going to be. So I found this amazing degree that I wanted to do, and you got to choose a specialist topic or sort of, I guess, field. And so I thought, hey, I'm organised. I'm going to do events.
Yep.
So once I sort of dived into that, the amazing part of that degree was, you know, it was a 3-year-long program, but that had like 9 months of industry training. So it was a really hands-on, I guess, course to do, which I really quite liked because it meant you got the practical experience. So I guess sort of like being that, I remember, I'll never forget O Week when, you know, you're listening to all the people speak and where you want to be. And I'm thinking, yes, I'm going to run the Olympics and I'm going to do all of this.
Yeah.
Which I just go, what now? To even the thought of it. But no, so part of that industry training was I landed just a reception job at the Taronga Zoo Function Centre.
How good. My parents got married there.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh my God, amazing. Yeah, it's like just such a already, I guess, an iconic place to really land. And so I worked for the, I guess, contracted catering business that was there at the time. And they really specialised in, like, I guess, high-end catering and events. So I was really lucky to kind of get my foot in the door straight away, working with iconic destinations and places that people want to come to with a bit of an elevated experience, specifically in the hospitality side. So I've always started in catering, and then from there it really led me to working across wider portfolios. So I worked across iconic places like the, you know, Art Gallery of New South Wales, the Sydney Opera House, and those sorts of things. So that then I sort of felt like I'd kind of done as much as I could sort of do in the landscape that I was in Sydney. At that age as well, a few years later, took myself over to London to kind of get the experience there. Exactly. And similarly, I was very lucky to land a position with one of the best catering companies in London, which again was such a privilege to be a part of working. I actually became sort of like an EA to the creative director.
Wow.
Who to this day, if she was to ever watch this, I thank so much, because she really taught me everything I know, really put me under her wing, and just gave me the insight and opportunity to be able to work across really big brands.
Yeah.
And so the likes of Alexander McQueen, so doing, massive parties for 800 with everything completely curated.
Wow.
So like everything was an experience, from how we dressed our staff serving the food to how everything was, like the props, and it was always like entertainment driven when it came through food.
Yeah.
And it's from there, and funnily enough, I grew up as such a fussy eater, but because I wanted the job so bad, I was forced to try all these new things, and it blew my mind, and I fell in love with food.
Yeah, wow.
So it really took me into that hospitality space, but working more in the event side of things. So really lucky to, again, work across, the British Museum, Kensington Palace, working for Cameron Macintoshes, like big theatre productions, they're the ones that did the Willy Wonka and all those sorts of things. So always like straight away, and again, really lucky to just work under like incredible leaders in the industry, where I kind of absorbed all of that.
Mentored you.
Yeah. So really grateful to have, I guess, been a part of that. Was time to obviously come back to Australia. And so, obviously already having a short stint in career and working kind of for the best, I came back to Sydney and I was like, well, if I'm going to work for the best, that's Matt Moran.
Yes.
So I reached out to their team and I basically just said, here I am, and here's what I've done, and here's what I want to do. I don't care. I'll waitress. I'll do all the things, but I was happy to just get my foot in the door. And funny enough, it was when they were starting to expand the catering business at the Opera House and at the Art Gallery and everything. So again, really lucky to kind of cement myself there. And again, working under another incredible general manager who has also taught me everything that I know here, and we together grew the business, evolved, ended up working for Matt's entire portfolio of 32 venues at the time.
Wow.
And started to become into a position of, I guess, being more seeing holistic over the entire venues and starting to really look at like clientele and the customer base, and I guess creating that sense of like relationships and loyalty.
Yeah.
So it went from being like heavily in event management to relationships, cross promotions and those sorts of things. So sitting quite more in like a sales, I guess, role for that. And I would work very closely with marketing departments to kind of, I guess, help them drive loyalty across those venues and understand where their marketing should be going. And then that's when the concept of For Mills came in for me. For Mills. So, I guess I say the word For Mills, I assume everyone knows what that means.
Yes.
But I guess a familiarisation to experience a product, to a group of people who have influence and to, I guess, essentially share and spread the word. And I just think it's one of the most like powerful tools of marketing that to this day I'm very passionate about. So I did a lot of that with the business, and it's actually how I came to meet my now husband, Dave Mills, who was employed as the general manager of Brangaroo House. So that was the shiny new project that Matt had at the time, and with, I guess, all the corporate towers that were in the Brangaroo precinct, all my clientele were there. So I was doing a lot of schmoozing at his venue. And he was great. He was all things bars, hospitality. He's ran his own restaurants. He's ran some of the best bars in Melbourne. Same thing. He did a stint in London in his kind of career. And so we got it. We were each other's counterpart. We understood it. I humbly say I was giving him ROI to, for his business and helping his bottom line and all the things. So, and then we just started, having this little like love affair on the side. And I say love affair, obviously, like in the most respectful way, just more a work love affair that evolved. And I think we then just got to a point where, your wings feel a little bit clipped sometimes when you, I guess, working for someone else. And we just realised we really loved what we did and that we had something to really give to a wider perspective. And I think we were ready to branch out on our own. So we made the call, and hence, so Mills and Franks was born. So me being Kristy Franks and my husband Dave Mills, we came together and thought, you know what, let's just create a brand and create a lifestyle business that allows us to take on projects that we really wanted to take on. And that's now heavily evolved around like luxury hospitality, events, brand and marketing, and a bit of wedding planning over on the side as and when.
How do you find working alongside your husband? I mean, that's obviously, I'm sure, a burning question. Like, I could never. But how do you kind of divide both of your roles and who does what? And then also, how do you not take that into kind of like family life, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. And look, it's such a good question because it isn't something everyone can do.
Yeah.
And I think what's important is knowing what your strengths and skill sets are and what lane you need to be in.
Yeah.
And what's really good, and the reason we were able to start that so well from the beginning, is that we are each other's counterpart. Like we are the yin to each other's yang and that kind of thing. So there is no really crossover. There's no fighting on attention on anything or, you know, taking over each other's love of what they do.
You have the luxury this week, don't you? He's at home with the kids.
He's at home with the little ones, yes, while I'm here sort of running up here doing his thing. And look, typically what would be happening is he's the one running around in the background sorting all things and making it all happen, so I can just be
front facing
and hanging out with you know, you guys as well. So no, look, it's worked really well. It's really important to ensure that we do have that sort of like, I guess,
boundary.
Absolutely. Yeah. Otherwise, you know, there's no days off. There's no time off, you know, those sorts of things. So, but equally so, like I think when we become so passionate about things, it's really nice to have each other to kind of drive that. And I think especially the way in which we created the business, you know, look, I'll be completely honest, there was no business plan, there was no anything, as much as to I would have loved one.
Yeah.
Whereas my husband's just very impulsive and just he believes in things and he has a good sense of like gut and instinct.
Yep.
And he just like makes it happen.
Yeah.
And I've learned to trust that over time.
I think that's Amy to me.
Yes. Yeah. Hearing you too.
Amy's very much similar. We definitely don't step on each other's kind of territory. Like I will happily allow Amy to do her thing and come back to me and then she will rein me in, but you've got to trust each other.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think like having spent the last few days with you guys, I 100% see that.
Get it. You're like,
and I love it. I love it. And it's how it works. And it's the work-life situation. And that's exactly, to be honest, how we run.
And it's how I think every good partnership is successful and runs, and because you just got to trust each other.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Trust is a really big one. Otherwise you micromanage and do all the things. You create more work, you create resentment and all that. And it doesn't become successful. So no, I think we do well to stay in our lane. We've evolved business over time. We took on our first client, which was Terrera House down in the South Coast.
Absolutely love. You know, one of my good friends got married there and I was a bridesmaid and I got to stay there.
That's how I remember, I think I initially met you. So that was really nice to kind of like have that little synergy. And it's again, a beautiful, iconic place within the South Coast, a really hot destination now as well for all things weddings and getaways.
Yeah.
So, and I guess,
how many clients do you have now on your kind of books or portfolio or that you work across?
Yeah, I would say we have a core 3.
Okay, great.
And the reason for that being because the scope of those clients are, you know, quite big enough projects that Dave and I agreed many years ago when we started the business, we didn't want to have a team. It is just us. Yeah. So we do want to just take on things that A, that we're passionate about, and B, that we can really 100% give our all to. Yeah. And now with under two,
which is a whole other situation. When I found out, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I know.
Why?
I know.
But also, you're the one that needed the champagne last night more than anyone else. I was like, this girl needs the drink the most.
Yes. And it was nice to be able to do that and enjoy, you know, myself and get back into it with you guys. And that's things like that I love. But then equally so, I love now having this family life and I love what we've created in that sense. And it's taking on clients that are brands to us that like also respect all of that.
Well, I always say, like Amy and I always kind of say, when we take on a brand, we don't want to be treated as almost like the external marketing team.
Yes.
We actually are part of the team and we want to be invited to Christmas parties and like share milestone events because like we are actually part of the team. We're not like the external agency.
Yeah.
We actually holistically want to be in your business and know everything that's going on.
Yep.
And so I think that that's an extremely wise move from yourself that you only take on a small amount of clients because you are so involved in every aspect of their business. It's not just like that one set kind of okay, this is what my role is and what I'm doing. It's like you bring everything.
Yeah.
And it's better to have more so that you can give yourself, you know, everything to that client.
Absolutely. And it's fair to us as a business,
Yes.
it's fair to our family, and it's also fair to the client.
Yes.
You know, because then they get all of that.
Yes.
You know.
And you'll be with them for years.
Exactly. And that's, you know, that's been the beauty of the Yangaro brand in particular. You know, that initially just started out as a bit of consulting, you know, kind of to get them off the ground to help with an aspiration that they have. And now 4 years later, here we are, you know, working with them pretty full time, especially in the last 18 months to get to now where we are.
Yeah.
And just where they're continuing to want to be is really awesome to be a part of.
Oh, this is like fundamental, like the way that and I also find it so rewarding, like when you have seen a business come from like where they've first started and where we have one client in particular that we've worked with for like 5 or 6 years now. She was actually one of our first ever clients, and she was a bridal brand and came to us and was like, I just really love your photo shoots and your socials and stuff. So we started with that, and now it's gotten to the point where I caught up with her when I was in New York in April, but I haven't seen her in like 5 years, and it was like nothing had really changed. It was just like, hey, and we just like continued our work together.
Yeah.
But we'd been working together for so long. We were so comfortable. She didn't need to brief me. It's just like you just slot straight in.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like literally similarly how this happened. You know?
You grow with the brand.
Yeah. And it's great. And like, I think exactly like you said, it's this really like amazing way to be a part of someone's business by being part of the team, but at the same time still have your own thing, your autonomy, running and kind of doing what you want to do without feeling also like the employee.
Yes.
I think that's a really lovely, very rare sweet spot to find.
Yes.
And what I call a unicorn situation, because, you know, it just the way in which the modern world is now with female entrepreneurs, you know, mums, those sorts of things, being able to have and do the both, having clients like that and being able to do that is just, it's a real privilege to do, to be able to then be able to feel like you can have both.
So lucky because you can switch between. So what do you guys, I guess, find right now that's trends coming up in the wedding sphere?
Yeah.
And I guess you as kind of a luxury expert, I mean, when I have experienced this property, it is absolutely like I would have like 15 people here if I was getting married and just like book it out. And like I almost feel like this is more powerful because it's actually an experience for you and your guests and like whatever it is.
Yeah.
But talk to me through what you're starting to see for trends for couples or, you know,
definitely.
inquiries.
Yeah, I think, look, to use Yangaro as a prime example, the way in which the venue is kind of set up in an iconic kind of location where it is a destination people love to travel. So first and foremost, people, like the trend and has been for a very long time now, is never just about the day, it's about a weekend experience or, you know, a multi-day experience. So people are really looking for that, I guess, destination where they can kind of do that. So it's not only even about like what the venue has. So accommodation is always a really big one.
Yes.
So I usually find like we attract a lot of like the larger scale weddings because of how many people we can sleep on site.
So insane.
The freedom and flexibility, the privacy.
It is so private, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Like to feel like you are actually on the mainland with Airlie Beach just down the road, 5 minutes over the hill.
Yeah.
You know, you're still accessible to everything, but you're then here in your own little like private oasis.
Yeah.
And the way in which the accommodation is really laid out really serves to still feel private amongst all your guests, but also feel really all-inclusive. So we attract that, and then also especially because we are in the Whitsundays, there's just so many beautiful things to do. So people and their guests want to come away on a holiday. It's appealing to come here, get out on the boat, go snorkeling. So many things to do in town. So you get kind of like that side of things. So we start attracting a lot of like, call it like regional. So anyone that's within driving distance of about 3 to 4 hours. And then also now starting to target, you know, the major cities across the East Coast. So sort of like Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne. Which is really great. People coming away to look for that kind of destination. But then equally so, we're very much seeing the intimate trend still kicking in. And like, you know, a lot of people thought that was a very like COVID kind of behavior when it came to weddings.
Yeah.
But that's actually infiltrated through, I think, just with overall
I love it.
spend and lifestyle.
Yes.
And people just wanting the quality, not the quantity.
Yes.
So we attract a lot of like elopements for 2.
Yep.
And we also attract like groups, say, for up to 20.
Yep.
So that's allowed us to kind of see, and especially with the venue. So in our infancy now, we've been kind of running weddings for about 12 months now properly. We now have those 3 distinct offerings.
Yes.
And each of them bring, you know, the most like beautiful couples and family and clientele through the doors that, you know, just are really looking for an experience that now Yangaro can deliver. So yeah, I do find that it is either really quite small or we do up to 120 here just comfortably for the venue.
Yep.
And
this private lawn, like it's just like there's so much.
Yep, exactly.
It's a complete blank canvas that doesn't even need to be dressed because you've got that in the background.
And that's it. And that's
crazy.
What people love. So at the moment, because the property is still in development phase. Yeah. So, and not that even impacts anyone's stays. It's just more that there's still more projects on the pipeline for the Yangaro brand in terms of developing more villas, our own event space and those sorts of things. So when we do the larger scale weddings, we do pop up a marquee and kind of essentially, I guess, build a reception space on the front lawn. But that's also super easy because we have an amazing list of local suppliers that we work with, that we collaborate with quite a lot. Yep. You know, and the success of a great experience is always like the amazing vendors and the relationships that you have with them.
And it's so important to have that close-knit crew around you that you can trust, and they always deliver.
Exactly.
What do you think is next for you? I mean, that's like a big question.
Yeah.
Because the fact that this is the first time that you're away from your kids, I'm like, good on you. But
Thank you.
I'm like, this is just the beginning. Now you're kind of probably out of like the trenches in a way, and you're kind of like really ready to focus on yourself and the business. Like, what is kind of next for you? I find it very admirable.
Oh, thank you. Look, to be honest, doing what we've done the last couple of days, so we've obviously hosted a famille with some leading entrepreneurs in the wedding industry, such as yourselves, to come and spend this time to experience the venue overall, and it just has really like solidified. I woke up this morning with a massive smile on my face and just like feeling like this is what I'm meant to do.
Yes.
And this is what I love doing. And I think it's very scary in a world that we're entering at the moment with AI and technology. Yeah. That like doing things like these for meals brings us back to human connection and driving.
I was literally having this same conversation with Amy yesterday that the attention to detail and what you have put on for, I say this weekend, even though it is a Tuesday, but
no, I was like, what day is it?
I'm like, this weekend, but still, anyway, the attention to detail is, I truly feel what I guess the industry has been missing, because I have spoken to people that I would have never been in contact with, because everyone is, you know, in different parts of Australia, but also just so busy, and the connections that you have with people is just, it's what's missing. And I feel like you've really hit the nail on the head.
Oh, thank you.
For building an experience that will really serve us so well. Yeah. You know, over the next coming months, because it is a very scary landscape.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think, you know, it's also, you know, that stage in life where you're thinking, okay, like, especially the way things are evolving, like what's going to be a job in the future? What is going to take me to, you know, when I'm 60, 70 years old, you know, doing all the things. And I think just at the core of like anything I've ever done, when I go back from the beginning, sitting in my O week, looking at like, what is it that I want to do? I just genuinely love giving an experience. Yes. And I love creating it, and I love bringing people together. And that's in both like my personal life, like that's what my husband and I do. It's what we're known for. And also now professionally.
Your Christmas or like birthday parties would be...
It's usually everyone else's. For us, we're always just like, just us. But so I think like anything that's going to allow me to do that. And like I said, these last few days has just solidified being able to do things like that, to you know, equally on both fronts, you know, for a business like Yangaro, privately owned with a beautiful family behind it, you know, to who have like a very humble growth and aspiration for the brand overall, to be able to connect and bring people like yourselves to that and glue that all together and kind of give in that sense is really rewarding.
Yeah.
So I would love to be able to like try and do that a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, kind of wherever we go with our clients.
Your guinea pig.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And Sophie will be your happily guinea pigs.
Yeah. Well, I'm really getting to Noosa, and I'd love to kind of like create something up there soon. So, which is another massive evolving destination. You're in.
Yeah.
You've all proved yourself this weekend. So, yep, absolutely, you're on the tick list.
But truly, I feel that this kind of experience is just so unique, and it's but just building the personal relationship, the connections, the conversations, like even us last night having a champagne, we're like, we need to hang more.
Exactly.
Like, it's just, I think it's what's missing right now in the world.
Agreed.
So it's so beautiful that you're so passionate about it, because you can really see that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That means a lot, because yes, there's definitely a lot of love.
You now need to go and have a cup of tea and be mute in bed.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to read my magazine from one of the girls who also attended.
Check that and all jump out in the pool.
Jump in the pool and see all the crazy shenanigans, because I've kind of actually, like, when you're in host mode, your phone kind of goes over here
and
allow you guys to kind of see it. So I'm excited to see what has been captured through your lens.
Yes.
And all of that, and watch the hype continue over the next few days in our little chat. And
well, thank you.
My pleasure.
Yay.
Thank you. No, thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Cool.